So you just finished an awesome anime series and now you feel empty and sad. You feel like you don't know what to do with your life anymore and you seriously doubt you'll ever find joy in the world ever again, so you might as well just... We've all experienced something like this at one point or another. Post-anime depression has become so widespread in the community that you can find countless posts about it without much effort. But the good news is, I finally found a cure. Hey yo, it's So. Before we start, if you like the video, be sure to consider subscribing. It helps a lot, actually. Also, I'm on Twitter if you want to follow, and check me out on Twitch if you want to watch me play games horribly. Ah, no! I've personally experienced this phenomenon with the usual suspects like Clannad and Angel Beats, and also after binging all 26 episodes of Beck over a single night. It's even known to happen in other mediums as well, like books and movies. I actually experienced something similar after finishing the final Harry Potter novel. Or at least I would have, but I don't read. And although I have a lot of experience with post-anime depression, I'm clearly not an authority on the matter, so I reached out to an expert. PhD, UBNTR psychologist, Dr. Seiso. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Seiso. Hi, hello. Thank you so much for having me. Dr. Seiso, can you hear me? Hello there, can you hear me? Mother Zoom calls. Hi, can you hear me? Oh, yes, doctor. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, happy to be here. As you know, doctor, we're discussing post-anime depression, and I wanted to get your insight on the matter and your thoughts about why this happens. Yes, of course. So post-anime depression syndrome, or PADS for short, along with similar phenomenon, is actually a relatively common occurrence within different mediums of media consumption. As the name implies, it's most commonly described as a feeling of depression experienced after consuming and completing said media. Symptoms can vary, but usually consist of general feelings of sadness and loss of motivation, among others. Oftentimes, this phenomenon occurs when central issues that were raised in the story are still fresh and active inside one's psyche, and therefore, the consumer consciously or subconsciously wishes for more time to unravel and reflect on whatever complexities still plague them. Naruhodo, naruhodo. But most often than not, this occurs because of emotional transportation, a convergent process where all mental systems and capacities become focused on events occurring in the narrative. Reality falls away and we experience the story through the eyes of the characters. That sadness one feels after the conclusion of the story signals a loss of something valued. In this case, it may be a loss of characters to whom we may have connected very strongly, or the loss of a whole world that is presented to us. Characters can feel like close friends because our brain processes feelings for them in much the same way it does for real-life connections, and our brains allow us to transport ourselves to another world. Without realizing, people lose track of time and fail to observe events going on around them. A loss of self-awareness takes place. You get incredibly invested in these fictional worlds, these fictional characters. And before you've realized, you've fallen so deep into this rabbit hole that there's no longer any means of ever escaping. Okay. Well, I hope I was able to clear up some things for you and your viewers. Thank you for having me. Yes, you are a great help, doctor. Thank you so much for your time. The doctor sounds and looks almost exactly like me. That's kinda creepy. So just to summarize Dr. Seiso, you develop these powerful attachments to these fictional characters and worlds, and your no-life, feeble-weak brains can't differentiate fiction from reality, so you end up feeling depressed when you realize you can never actually truly be with your waifu. But lucky for you guys, after many years of personal research and getting feedback from an array of experts, I developed some guidelines that are sure to give you the relief from post-anime depression that you've been craving. Rewatch the series. I know it seems simple, but you'd be surprised at how beneficial it is. Even though you just finished it and you feel like shit, rewatch the series 4 or 5 times. Straight, no breaks. Really try to take everything in. And then rewatch it again. If your parents are pissed off at you because you've been watching an insane amount of episodes non-stop, move on to the manga. And then read the light novels. I know there's light novels for it. Everything is adapted from a light novel nowadays. So go ahead and read all 20 volumes in one sitting. Find other similar series. You know how at times, drug addicts have to turn to less powerful stimulants to wean off of the stronger stuff they are consuming? Well, the same concept applies here, you junkie. So just do what I did after watching Anohana and binge watch Your Lie in April. You're guaranteed to feel much better after. Remember, what you're aiming for is to consume everything imaginable related to the series you just finished in the shortest amount of time possible. Because time is very important in this matter. And that brings me to my next point. Be wary of time. They say time heals all wounds. And whoever they are actually right. Except in this case. What you don't want is for these words and characters that you were completely immersed in to begin to slowly fade away from your mind, giving you freedom from heartache and filling you with calmness once again. Just because you decided to have faith in time. Rely on your real life happiness. So pretty much, what you want to do is just ignore the fact that you'll be falling into a destructive vicious cycle of filling that void with more stories that you're girl attached to, and which will make you feel the same way once you finish them, which will lead you back to searching for more stories that will do the same and the cycle repeats. And although it might sound like simple suggestions, when you fully implement these ideas, it's known to be highly effective in treating post-anime depression.